What would you do if the one person you trusted most betrayed you for a free vacation? Ethan Carter stood in the crowded airport terminal, his fingers tightening around a single plane ticket. The hum of travelers and the clatter of rolling suitcases faded as his mind replayed the moment he discovered his name was missing from the family trip list, a trip he had meticulously planned and paid for. His wife's sister, Lila, had orchestrated it all, her smug voice echoing in his memory. "It's just a family thing, Ethan. You understand, right?" But she didn't know the truth, and that truth was his quiet weapon. Ethan had always been the dependable one. A software engineer with a knack for solving problems, he'd built a comfortable life for himself and his wife, Sarah. When Sarah's family proposed a dream vacation to Santorini, Ethan didn't hesitate. He covered every expense: flights, villas, private tours for Sarah, her parents, and Lila, the youngest sibling with a penchant for entitlement. He'd spent weeks coordinating, ensuring every detail was perfect. The gratitude he expected was lukewarm at best, but he brushed it off. Family was family, and he loved Sarah enough to endure her sister's sharp tongue. The betrayal came 2 days before departure. Ethan was finalizing the itinerary when Sarah, her voice trembling, showed him the updated group chat. Lila had removed Ethan's name, claiming there wasn't enough room. "It's a small villa," Lila texted, her words dripping with false regret. "We had to prioritize immediate family." Sarah protested, but Lila was relentless, painting Ethan as the outsider who could sit this one out. The family, swayed by Lila's charm, didn't push back. Ethan's heart sank, not just from the exclusion, but from the silence of those he'd sacrificed for. He didn't confront Lila immediately. Instead, he let the sting settle, fueling a plan. Ethan wasn't one for petty revenge, but he believed in justice. He checked the reservations, confirming what Lila didn't know. Every booking: flights, accommodations, even the yacht excursion was tied to his credit card and name. Without him, the trip was nothing but a dream. He kept silent, letting Lila's smugness build as the departure day neared. At the airport, Ethan watched from a distance as the family gathered at the check-in counter. Lila was all smiles, tossing her hair as she handed over her passport. Sarah looked uneasy, her eyes scanning the crowd for Ethan. He'd told her he'd meet them there, keeping his intentions vague. The check-in agent's face shifted as she reviewed the bookings. "I'm sorry," she said, her voice firm. "This reservation is under Mr. Carter's name, and he's not listed as traveling. We can't issue boarding passes without his authorization." Lila's smile faltered. "That's a mistake," she insisted, her voice rising. "He's not coming. Just process it." The agent shook her head, explaining the policy. Sarah's parents exchanged confused glances, their excitement crumbling. Ethan stepped forward, his presence like a storm cloud breaking the tension. "There's no mistake," he said calmly, holding up his phone with the booking confirmation. "I paid for this trip, every cent, and I decide who goes." The terminal seemed to hold its breath. Lila's face flushed red, her confidence unraveling. "You can't do this," she stammered. "This is our trip." Ethan met her gaze, unflinching. "Your trip? I funded it. I planned it. And you thought you could erase me?" He turned to Sarah, whose eyes brimmed with tears, torn between her sister and her husband. "I wanted this to be for all of us," Ethan said softly. "But respect isn't optional." He could have canceled everything right there, left them stranded. Part of him wanted to. But Ethan wasn't cruel. He handed the agent his authorization, ensuring the family could board minus Lila. "You can take my spot," he told her, his voice steady. "But you'll never take my place." He walked away, leaving Lila speechless and the family grappling with the weight of their choices. On the drive home, Ethan felt a strange peace. Sarah called, her voice thick with regret, promising to make things right. He didn't need her promises. He'd stood up for himself, not out of spite, but out of self-respect. The trip went on without him, but the story of that day didn't. It became a quiet lesson in the family, a reminder that loyalty isn't a what it's earned. As Ethan sat at home, the sunset casting golden streaks across his living room, he opened his laptop. A new email waited: a confirmation for a solo trip to Iceland, booked with his own money, on his own terms. He smiled. Sometimes, the best revenge is living well, and Ethan was ready to start.